quite a lot of constructions right inside the council. Recall that when we came on board, security was an issue. We had to build a befitting office for the Emohua Vigilante Service, which is our own local vigilante with which we kept the peace in the local government. And that is flourishing. We finished, we built and equipped the office and gave them vehicles and all that. So we also commenced the construction of the Emohua Primary Health Care Authority, which we did, completed with bed spaces and Canada. It will interest you to know that so far over 5 babies have been delivered in that facility. We have carried out free medical missions for our people. The first was in collaboration with the Bakikwere Convention. Then another that was wholly financed by the Emohua Local Government Council. We commenced the construction of the council canteen. Completed. We commenced and completed the construction of the council warehouse. We commenced and completed the construction of the 500-seater council pavilion, which was named after our daughter, brand ambassador of the local government area, Miss Mary Kekwaro, who is from Undele. You recall the story of the girl who returned well over $50,000, which was found in a hotel where she was. So we commenced and completed the construction of a 350 capacity ICT studio, which would now would have been used as center for the right WAEC and JAM and so on. That facility has been completed, equipped, and ready for takeoff. We also commenced and completed the Emohua marriage registry. We renovated the Omnita Women Town Hall in Elela Limini, where the magistrate court sits. We commenced and completed the fencing of over 35 plots of land at the Rumuji police station. Recall that when we came on board, we no sooner than we took over office, it was alleged that members of the IPOB struck, and you recall that some policemen were killed in Rumuji. So we swung into action and gave that police station a facelift. We have also intervened heavily in the provision of transformers for Mbuelia and our communities, the relocation of the substation in the council, provision of a 660 kVA Caterpillar generator, and so on and so forth.
All right. So
these are the things we've been able to achieve within the period under review.
Okay, so it's been an eventful 3 years, for your administration. Now,
absolutely, I can look back, and I also recall that we are still planning for mission about now. Recall that we are building a modern legislative complex for our legislators. That we have offices for all of the 14 councillors, including their aides. We also, the nearly completion is a modern council secretariat that will befit a modern Emohua. That would have been beaten about now, about for the use of ultimate power.
I want to ask my next question, please. I want to ask my next.
We have also commenced the completion of the hitherto abandoned admin office in the council, which was started 14 years ago by the previous administration. So we have done quite a lot of interventions. We've also discovered the anomalies that were in the Emohua voucher, or with regards to ghost workers and so on. We confronted that issue heavily and we were able to stabilize the monthly minimum, the nominal rule. We had a situation. Those very decisions were better for it to take back.
All right. Now I ask you my next question. And that thing is, the state governor or the state government is still withholding funds to your local government area, true or false? Because you mentioned it not so long ago.
Absolutely. I have not been able to run effectively the council since March. Okay. This is the fourth month that the River State government will arbitrarily be withholding funds meant for the local government and its people.
Okay. Now, the reason why...
And unfortunately, security has broken down, kidnapping has surfaced along the east-west road.
Now, the reason...
And shooting and burning of houses have started again in communities in the local government.
Okay. Now, the reason why I asked you this first two questions is because my next question is about the much talked about local government and your extension. Now, you've listed quite a number of things your administration has achieved, and you've also mentioned that local government funds are no longer coming to you as local government chairman. However, I've heard reports that you are amongst 21 local government chairmen who are hinging their stay in office on the amendment of the local government law by Martin Ameule-led legislators. Would you really want to stay, given first your achievements and second the hurdles and challenges that you've got to face as a local government chairman these days?
Well, Colonel, I'd like to very well thank you for this question. First, you recall that when you were doing your intro, you said the chairman, local government chairman are insisting on staying. And that is not very correct.
Okay.
We are products of the law. And there is a law passed by the River State House of Assembly, who the Constitution has given mandated everything about local government. The Constitution has donated to the State Assembly in Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The local government chairman, the beauty about all of this is that you know from the first day you are sworn in when you will leave office. Now, I do not know why people are not asking. Why was it difficult for the governor of River State to create the enablement for elections to be conducted? The River State Independent Electoral Commission law provides that elections, notice for elections shall be given 90 days before the expiration of the tenure of the incumbent administration. Now, people are not asking about that. Everybody is in a frenzy. They want to be local government chairman, caretaker committee chairman, and that. And I have said on this program severally that the aim of local government administration is the use of caretaker committee. Because when they come on board, all they know is to massively loot funds and settle themselves. So the 3 years is not even enough for people to perform. How much less 3 months in office? And that the Supreme Court of Nigeria has in several cases said that the local government caretaker committee is an aberration to the Constitution, because Section 771 of the 1999 Constitution provides that the system of local government is guaranteed by democratically elected personnel. It is not ambiguous. So we are not insisting. We are products of the law, and we have decided that we will abide by the law as passed by the River State Assembly.
Now,
because of the inability of the hold on. Because of the inability of the executive to provide the enablement, the State Assembly rose to the occasion and invoked the doctrine of necessity. The State Assembly in River State is not different from the Assembly, the Zamfara State House of Assembly, and it's not also different from the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. In these two states, tenures of local government chairmen have been extended by 6 months.
Now, can I?
So what is the hue and cry?
Can I come in now?
Look as if the best thing that has happened to us is being fast-food chairman. Our mates are governors in states.
Okay.
And we have the capacity to be governor of this state. So when people look at it to say, oh, they don't want to leave, will they have a social contract of 4 years? You are not talking about what led to this.
Okay.
We did not become council chairman by conquest, and here people are moving drones, moving armored tankers to go and take over council. All of these issues are subjudice. All of these issues, the issue, people are challenging the territorial extension by the Martins Amewule led assembly. The matter is before right now before the Court of Appeal. The Nigerian government, through its Attorney General, and also is challenging the criminal withholding of local government funds.
Okay, I've got a commercial, so I have to pause. I wanted to ask you
that
another question.
matter is been adjourned for judgment by the Supreme Court.
All right,
So when people now
let's hold on. We'll come back.
Resort to self-help. We cannot.
Hello, sir. Let's go for a commercial. past 4 p.m. Yes, we're still talking with the Emohua Local Government Council Chairman, Chidi Lloyd. And yes, before he went on, he said that they are not necessarily insisting, or they are not insisting, but they are staying because the law has allowed them to stay. But Dr. Lloyd, I want to make reference to Justice Kyo's judgment that says the amendment done by Martin Ameule and co., the legislators, that it is not in tandem with the Constitution. It goes against the Constitution, and as such is a nullity, because of course the Constitution says any law that is not in tandem with the Constitution is null and void. Now, what is your reaction to that? That was the question I was trying to ask you before we went for the break, because there is that court ruling.
Now, Canada, I'm not one of those lawyers that cast aspersions on the judgments of learned High Court judges.
Okay.
Justice Daiketiba Kyo of the Rivers of the Sakpawa Division of the Rivers State High Court gave his judgment, wherein he annulled all of the amendments to Section 9, Sub 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Rivers State Local Government Law Number 5 of 2018. Now, what is important, Canada, is that Justice Daiketiba Kyo's court is not the last court. I recall that what the government did there was to sue themselves. They didn't include the necessary parties. For instance, they didn't sue the Rivers State House of Assembly that made the law. They didn't sue those local government chairmen on who the law will inure on. So what we did was to quickly appeal that judgment, and we are playing the Court of Appeal to make us parties, because we are necessary parties in that suit. Okay, so all of that is before the Court of Appeal for adjudication, and the Court of Appeal has so far heard the matter, and we are on course with the matter. So the point I'm making is that Justice Kyo, yes, has given his judgment, but we, those who will be affected by the decision of Justice Kyo, who have now taken steps to appeal the judgment. So you don't refer to Justice Kyo's judgment as a final judgment. All of this will get to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will make pronouncements, and which will further enhance our jurisprudence. So that if the Martin Ameule-led assembly is correct, no executive will want to intimidate or coerce them. If the government of Rivers State is wrong, then it means therefore that no governor, no matter what is called, will want to repeat what the court has said is not correct. So that is why I am very interested in all of this as a legal mind, that all of these issues be sorted out at the Supreme Court. Even if at the Court of Appeal that we are now, if the judgment of the Court of Appeal comes one way or the other party will also go upstairs to the Supreme Court.
Okay. Now,
so it is important that we note that.
Justice Wali had made an interlocutory injunction restraining Martin Ameule and co. from parading as lawmakers, and said Victor Okojumbo is the speaker, and immediately Victor Okojumbo also said that all laws made by the Martin Ameule-led assembly has become null and void. I'm not a lawyer, you are. How are you reacting to that? Because that can also be...
Let me say this quickly. That the problem that we have is that we have nitwits. A lot of nitwits.
No, let's not do that. Let's not.
No, hold on.
Let's not do that.
I'm not calling names.
Okay.
I said the problem that we have in Rivers State is that illiteracy is pervading, is the order of the day.
Okay.
Now, it does not belong on anybody to declare one law null and void. No. It is the court. If a law that has been passed is repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience, it is a court of law that will pronounce it. This is not a military dictatorship where a man will sit down on the radio station and make proclamation as if he were a Roman emperor. No, this is a democracy. So if, let's assume, though not conceding, that the Martins Amewule, the laws passed by Martins Amewule, are null and void. It is not a human being. It is not it does not belong on an ordinary person to say it. It will be said by a court of competent jurisdiction. However, coming back to your question,
but a speaker, can
hold on now.
Okay.
Recall that the Justice C.M. Wale's judgment has since been appealed, and that the Court of Appeal has invoked its inherent powers and have seized the matters from Justice C.M. Wale. It can no longer proceed. I like the use of the word interlocutory injunction by you. Interlocutory injunction is not a perpetual injunction.
Okay.
Interlocutory injunction, it is an injunction that comes in between the hearing of an action in order to prevent the conduct of a certain action, and it has expiry date. Okay, it is at the end of the judgment that the court comes up with what is known as perpetual injunctions. Now, those involved, Martins Amewule, who was challenged by that law, has proceeded to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal has heard the matter, has asked every party to maintain status quo. From when the Court of Appeal gave that order, they have been explaining what status quo means to the whole of Rivers State. Since we've all become lawyers in the state, unfortunately, even most lawyers now try to give explanation to these issues based on what side of the pendulum that they belong to. So we have been explaining status quo for the past 1 week. Okay? So the issue of Justice Wale's judgment is being challenged. So you cannot also refer to it any longer. That Justice Wale has said this and that. The Court of Appeal has taken over the matter and has said, oh, Martins Amewule played among other things. So it's okay. This was what Justice Wale said, that we are no longer members of the State Assembly. And the court said, no, Martins Amewule, please, you will not decide this now. This is the clause of the matter. We will hear it, because if we grant you this your relief now, it will seem as if we have heard the matter. So in order to ensure that the theory of all the alternate pattern is properly in place, wherein all parties are given fair hearing, we will not grant you this relief. Come and operate on your case, so that at the end of the day, we will take a final judgment. And that is what the Court of Appeal has done.
Okay.
So a lot of interpretations have been given to the issues that went to court. No, Justice Wale's judgment is not a final judgment. It's being challenged.
Okay. Now I want to ask you a question. So you're saying, you and your colleagues, about 20 of them, are saying that you would not leave office tomorrow. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The law does not enable us to leave office. We will be there to maintain government property, ensure the peace. You see, a lot of people are brandishing guns and all that. If we go that route, it will not do anybody any good. And all of these persons, you have quote and unquote generals from all kinds of non-state actors brandishing on social media, demarketing the state, saying what they will do. It's not possible. You cannot. We all belong here. We all belong here. In as much as this is not what we wish to say, I would rather appeal than they allow the courts to take one position or the other. When once it was in this state, the governor was sitting in government house, and 7 people sat in the Supreme Court of Nigeria in Abuja and sacked him. And the governor left. I was not a cannot shot was not released.
Okay.
We're a constitutional democracy, and no amount of intimidation will work.
Okay.
It is the law that we speak. And when the law speaks, everybody will go to.
Now, I want to ask you a question, and I'm smiling trying to ask you the question. Now, would it not be good if, like you've said, follow the legal channel, because violence will not help anybody or will not be in favor of anybody. Why don't you give peace a chance, allow the courts to judge? If the court judges in your favor, then you come back.
Did peace complain to you, Canada?
No. I'm asking because my next question is.
No. You are throwing these questions to me, building on my person, which is not fair. Now.
Okay, sorry.
You cannot invite me to your program.
Sorry
and
about
take advantage of that.
No,
I'm complain to you that I didn't give it a chance.
Okay. Now the next
I'm a man of peace. You know that, Canada. You know that.
Now the
so
reason.
Did you hear any drumming in my local government? Did you hear the non-state actors? No, we know each other there.
Okay.
We know each other.
The reason
it's
why
not phone talk. It's not social media. If you want, come there, talk.
Okay. The reason why I've asked you that question is, okay, I would have to reach out to my guest, but I'd like to get your take. Let's talk with you. I lost connection there. 0817-923-0002 0817.
That office. I tell you, last yesterday, and all the local government are leaving. I'm a supervisor. I just pack my case in my local government. I will do my chairman do a Thanksgiving, local government chairman, and then she relate the local government chairman to do Thanksgiving for themselves. I tell you, as a last, they should go to their house. So that will take over. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Peter from Emohua. Peter, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear.
Canada. Well, I want to. Personally, when I listen to Chidi Lloyd, summertime when he talks, it seems he is the one controlling you as a journalist. I can't even allow both of you. I'm trying. Just permit me to say this, so that we who are calling will participate. Both of you. You are a journalist asking question. Let him allow you asking question that we, in response, can answer.
Okay.
So right now, you have asked him a question, and as concerning today, I think it is today that the whole thing has ended. He has not given us. He's still trying to. I don't know. That is his style. But I just still want to say to him, we know the law. What the state of status quo, the status quo. There is no confusion in that word. When he is talking about a proceeding matter, that was the issue. That's not what we, from the law, I recorded it clearly, what he said there. There are things that was sought for by himself, which the appeal court said granted to them, but there are ones that was not granted.
Hello?
You know, those ones, it's good that you are talking in the studio there. You bring these things and read them out. Those ones, read them, because they don't want us to know actually what the appeal court told them we granted and we did not grant. You see? So, what I mean is that we have a governor who has immunity.
All right, Peter, I've got to go.
Sure that the plan,
all right, Peter, thank you very much. I've got to go. Use your time to tell me how to do the job. Kenneth from Iba, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Mr. Kaladi,
Kenneth, welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah.
All right, I'm Kenneth calling from Iba. Please, I want to join with your program. I want to ask my local government chairman a question. Yes, when he was saying about the project he executed, I think he mentioned my community Iba, that very Umpova road. From the day he came to flag up that road, he told us that the money he will use to construct that road the money was intact. That as soon as he start the project, he will complete it in the next 3 months. That was the day he came to flag up that project. And as I speak to you, the only thing they have succeeded in that project is just drainage. But I heard him saying that that project was almost in completion. Only drainage. There was no sand. Nothing was poured on that road. The road, as I speak to you, if you go there, drainage, water all over. Cars cannot even drive through that road. And he said he was part of his road. So I want to ask him, he made us to understand that the money was intact. What happened now? Why is he complaining?
All right,
about sharing of funds?
All right, Kenneth, thank you very much. Kenneth, thank you very much. I would ask him. Kenneth is calling from Iba, and Kenneth is saying the road you mentioned, I can't remember where exactly, the road you said during the flag off that you had the money for that road, and why are you not complaining about not having money to complete it? Okay, my guest is back with me. I'm talking about Dr. Lloyd. But Dr. Lloyd, before you answer that question, before the network cut us off, I was asking you about peace and giving peace a chance because, and I mean, you mentioned and you said that some people are carrying armored tanks. I've not seen, maybe you've seen, I do not know. And the question is, if it becomes confrontational, what would the 21 local government chairmen then do? That's the reason why I asked you that question.
What we will do, what the 21 chairman will do.
Yeah.
I'm not the spokesperson for the 21.
Okay, so what would you do? What would you do?
If you ask me what I will do, I will continue to preach peace.
Okay.
Because my position here is the position of Solomon and the two women.
Okay.
The one that has the child who wants the child to be killed. Because I know I have an idea of how all of this will ultimately end. Because we are on the side of the law. There is nowhere in Nigeria that 3 persons will constitute an assembly in a 32-member house. Canada, you look at it. If you are not from River State and look at these issues, it's not possible. Let's even assume that all of the other members of the River State House of Assembly died in a plane crash. The best that can happen is that the assembly will be shut down same time, and INEC will be prevailed upon to conduct the election to fill the vacant positions. Because you cannot wish away quorum. And I don't even see how members who are suspended from the assembly will continue to parade themselves, because we have the state has become so polarized to the point that people are not clapping and drumming for what is evil. We forget that we are a federation. Nigeria, River State is part of Nigeria. Whatever the court says in here on these issues will affect all the other states. That is why we have case law. That is why when there are disputes, the lawyers will say, they will say, please, my Lord, this was the same scenario in the case of Attorney General of Abia State and Attorney General of the Federation. So we must be very careful. I don't see how any court will say 3 persons can sit and validly make any law for the state assembly of 32 members. I'd like to be alive and see how all of this ends.
Okay, now my question yet again is, the River State government decides to enforce. So let's say they send in the police or whoever will enforce, and they send it to Emohua local government council, and they say it is time for you to leave office because your time has expired. What would be your reaction once again?
The duty of the police is to enforce the law, not to enforce what somebody wants you to enforce. If today the pronouncement is made that our tenure is extinguished, our as it were has finished, and elapsed, as most people would say. Canada, I will not spend a day longer than necessary.
Okay.
But if the law permits me to stay, Canada will be on the side of the law. This has been the position of ICON. Because that we know when the tenure will finish. And that is why the framers of the law also said before they leave, conduct an election. Canada, why are you not shouldn't we ordinarily hand over to those who are coming to take over from us? So what is this bad blood everywhere for? Shouldn't we hand over? Shouldn't I compile my handover notes and in a small ceremony remove my photographs from the office? Unfortunately, we don't have one. So what are they going to take over? If you go and take over the council, and tomorrow the federal government takes over, the Supreme Court gives a decision as to how the local government funds will go. What have you taken over? So people must be told, all of these young men who are jumping, shouting, do not even know what the issues are. They don't know what the issues are.
Now,
so let no one go and be used and you become a statistic. Let no one give himself act to become statistics. How many people were injured when they said, council chairman said they won't go, and council chairman said they will stay? You become statistics.
Okay.
You say 2, 3,
Okay.
4.
Violence is not the way. Now, I'm going to ask you one question now. 3 local.
So let me answer the question by Kenneth from Iba.
Okay, go ahead with that
Let
one.
me answer the question for Kenneth. Kenneth from Iba, the last time I checked, you have not been a chairman before. And I did say, yes, that I had the money. But the way government works, you can use that money to attend to other urgent matters that have come up. But you would not deny the fact that Chidi Lloyd had concluded the agreement on both sides up until your waterfront.
Okay.
And the plan was, I knew that I still had a few months before Martins Emohua and his assembly intervened. I had drawn up my program in a manner that I would have completed Iba Road. It is a road Iba people didn't come to me. Nobody wrote me any letter. I thought it out. All of those projects I did, none of those communities came to me to promise. I knew if everything, they showed that when I came to do the road, and I delivered on it. The 1.5 kilometer road in the urban today, both of who have used me on Facebook every day, that is the only road I'm using now. So you see, and when each time I'm going to my upper world, I look into that road and I see people use it. I glorify God.
Okay.
Because I will still be told, like an doctor and a woman that came to me to thank me when that road was commissioned. Because even without it, Thomas, you said it will not I will not complete it.
All right, my time is
so
up.
The tenant of Iba, Chidi Lloyd will be the one to complete that Iba road. You can take that to the bank.
Okay, now I've got one final question.
I said so today.
Okay, I've got one final question for you, and I'll have to let you go because my time is up. And that question is: 3 local government chairmen have already started doing Thanksgivings to leave office. What's your reaction to that? I mean, will that not?
I can't speak for them.
Okay.
And I know that my colleague and brother in the Korean local government is having a cultural week. We have a cultural week from today for the next 1 week. You know, culture. We are about using our culture. So the Dr. Wadasike has a program to remind the Korean people of our culture. Okay. We have different programs. The local government, my other colleague in Canada, he says that because of all of these distractions, the council has become so bushy. So we have a program, a sanitation program for 1 week. Cleaning of gutter and so on in order to restore the ambience of the Canada local government. In Emohua, we are going back to farm. So we are going to distribute some implements in line with Mr. President's agenda for food sufficiency. Emohua people should be able, with the vast land that we have, we should be able to feed ourselves.
All right. I've got to go now.
Every chairman has program. I can't speak for them.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. Lloyd. I've got to let you go at this point.
Oh,
It's a
thanks,
pleasure.
Canada. It's always a pleasure talking with you.
Okay. All right then. All right. That's how much we can take for now. We will revisit this conversation in the open season because there's a commercial break, and after the commercial break, maybe I read one or two messages, and we would have to go in for the news. When we come back from the news, we still talk about the local government situation. I have a lawyer come in and explain the legalese as it relates to this very issue. To stay tuned.